The blue threshold. As the modern world fades into a distant memory, imagine yourself standing at the edge of the desert, under a sky so vast and clear that the stars look like spilled diamonds on black velvet. It is the 6th century BCE. You are approaching the greatest city the world has ever known, Babylon. The air is no longer dry. It carries a subtle, cool humidity, a hint of the mighty Euphrates River nearby. Before you lies the Ishtar Gate, a towering monument of glazed blue bricks that glow with an ethereal sapphire light under the moon. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the cool night air entering your lungs, cleansing the heat of the day. As you step forward, your sandals click softly on the processional way, a road paved with limestone and red breccia. On either side, the walls are adorned with lions of gold and blue, their expressions frozen in a majestic, silent roar. You are safe here. The city is asleep, guarded by the gods and the high walls of King Nebuchadnezzar II. Breathe out and let the weight of your journey drop away. You have reached the threshold of paradise. As you walk through the triple-arched gate, the scent of the city begins to change. It is no longer just the smell of dust and sun-baked mud bricks. There is a sweet, heavy fragrance drifting from the north, the scent of cedar wood, blooming jasmine, and damp earth. This is the breath of the hanging gardens. You look up, and there, rising like a man-made mountain against the stars, is a series of tiered terraces, overflowing with greenery that seems to touch the heavens. This is not a building, it is a living, breathing emerald in the heart of the dust. Visualize the sheer scale of the structure. It rises 75 feet into the air, supported by massive vaulted arches. Each level is a forest of its own. Palm trees sway in the midnight breeze, their fronds whispering secrets to the Babylonian night. Vines of ivy and grapevines cascade down the stone walls like emerald waterfalls. As you move closer, you hear the most peaceful sound in the ancient world, the trickling of water. Through a sophisticated system of bronze screws and hidden pipes, the water of the Euphrates is being lifted to the very top, where it spills over in a constant rhythmic melody. Breathe in the moisture. It feels like a cool mist against your skin. This is the verdant shadow, the place where the harsh sun of Mesopotamia can never reach. Under these arches, the temperature drops. The shadows are deep, soft, and inviting. As you walk, you notice the stones beneath your feet are covered in a thin layer of moss, damp and plush. There is no rush here. The king built this for his queen, Amytis, because she missed the green mountains of her homeland. It is a monument to love and to the longing for peace. Think about your own longing for peace. As you settle into your bed, imagine you are stepping onto the first ramp of the gardens. The incline is gentle. The stone is cool. With every step upward, you are leaving the noise of the streets behind. The sounds of the city, the distant clatter of chariots, the barking of dogs, fade away. All that remains is the sound of the wind through the leaves and the steady, heartbeat-like rhythm of the water. Now look at the plants surrounding you. These are not just local shrubs. Nebuchadnezzar sent explorers to the ends of the known world to bring back exotic wonders. You see the dark, glossy leaves of the ebony tree, the silver-green needles of the Lebanese cedar, and the vibrant, sleeping petals of the lotus. Each plant has a story. Each leaf is a traveler. You too are a traveler, and you have found the perfect place to rest. The gardens are a sanctuary for the weary. As you reach the end of the first terrace, you find a small stone bench carved with images of celestial spirits. Sit here in your mind. Look back at the Ishtar Gate, now a small blue jewel in the distance. The world you came from is far away. The paradise you are entering is infinite. The shadows are getting longer, softer, and more protective. You are being wrapped in a blanket of green silence. Breathe in the ancient peace. Breathe out the modern world. The lions are silent. The blue gates are closed. The water is falling. The Garden of Aromas. Leaving the blue-tiled threshold of the Ishtar Gate and the massive vaulted base of the first level, you begin your ascent to the second terrace. The ramp that leads you upward is wide and gentle, paved with thick slabs of stone and layers of lead to prevent the moisture from seeping into the rooms below. As you climb, the air undergoes a transformation. The smell of the river and the dry dust of the city is completely replaced by a dense, intoxicating perfume. This is the sensory heart of Babylon, the Garden of Aromas. Take a slow, deep breath. Fill your lungs with the scent of midnight jasmine. In the cool night air, these tiny white flowers open fully, releasing a fragrance so sweet it feels like a physical embrace. Mixed with it is the spicy, sharp scent of frankincense and the deep, earthy aroma of wet cedar. This is not just a garden, it is a giant incense burner, designed to soothe the spirit of a homesick queen and to signal to the gods that Babylon is a place of divine beauty. As you reach the floor of the second terrace, the ground beneath your feet feels different. Here, the soil is deep and rich, brought in by thousands of caravans from the fertile valleys of the north. You are walking on a carpet of low-growing herbs, thyme, mint, and rosemary. Every step you take crushes the leaves slightly, releasing a fresh herbal mist that clears your mind. In your mind, let that freshness wash away the mental clutter of your day. Just as the herbs refresh the air of the garden, let this moment refresh your consciousness. You are shedding the old, tired air of your worries. Visualize the great bronze fountains that stand at the corners of this terrace. These are not like modern fountains. They are massive, hand-beaten basins of copper and tin. Water doesn't just spray, it pulses. It flows out of the mouths of bronze griffins, falling into marble pools with a deep, resonant thrum. The sound is low frequency, a vibrations that you can feel in your chest. It is a biological lullaby. As you relax into your bed, try to hear that low, rhythmic pulsing of the Babylonian water. Thrum, splash, thrum, splash. It is the heartbeat of the oasis. Behind the fountains, hidden within the thick stone pillars, is the engineering marvel that makes this paradise possible, the chain of buckets and the bronze screws. Imagine the silent work happening inside the walls. Slaves and oxen, far below in the shadows, turn massive wheels that lift leather buckets filled with Euphrates water up through hidden shafts. This constant motion is the breath of the garden. It is a reminder that even in stillness, there is a gentle, supportive movement happening to keep you alive and comfortable. You don't have to do the work tonight. The engineering of your body, your heart, your lungs, your spirit is taking care of everything. You can simply exist. You can simply be. Breathe out and let your muscles go limp, mirroring the hanging vines of the balsam trees that surround you. The balsam is the prize of this terrace. Its bark is wounded to let the precious resin drip out, a resin used for the world's most expensive perfumes and healing salves. Even the wounds of the trees here create something beautiful and healing. Think of your own life. The challenges you have faced have created the fragrance of your character. Tonight, you aren't fighting those challenges. You are letting the resin of your experiences soothe you into a state of deep, healing rest. The shadows on this level are more complex. The moonlight filters through the canopy of almond and fig trees, creating a moving mosaic of silver and charcoal on the ground. As the wind moves the leaves, the shadows dance. Watch them in your mind's eye. They are soft. They are fluid. There is no hard edge to anything in the garden of aromas. Everything is blurred by the mist and the scent. Your thoughts are becoming blurred now too. The sharp lines of to-do lists and what-ifs are softening into the green shadows of Babylon. As you walk toward the center of the terrace, you find a small pavilion made of sandalwood. The wood itself breathes a warm, creamy scent into the night. Inside, there are silk cushions dyed in the colors of the sunset, deep purples, burnt oranges, and midnight blues. Imagine lying down on these cushions. They are cool to the touch, but provide a soft, deep support. You are looking up through a gap in the foliage, seeing the ziggurat of Etemenanke, the Tower of Babel, rising in the distance, a dark staircase to the stars. From here, even that giant monument looks peaceful. Breathe in the scent of the sandalwood. Breathe out the last of your physical tension. You are now halfway up the mountain of emeralds. The sounds of the city are now entirely gone, replaced by the humming of night insects and the distant rhythmic creak of the water wheels. It is a symphony of the ancient world, a soundscape that hasn't changed in thousands of years. You are connecting with the rest of every soul that has ever stood in this garden. The jasmine is heavy. The balsam is dripping. The fountains are pulsing. Sleep now, as the image of the sandalwood pavilion and the scented mist fades into the deep, unchanging dark of the Babylonian night.
In the next part, we will ascend to the third terrace, the forest of the clouds, where the giant cedars grow, and where the king's private menagerie of exotic birds sleeps in the high branches. But for now, there is only the quiet. There is only the dark. There is only sleep.
The Pavilion of the Seven Planets. Leaving the deep, hushed shadows of the cedar forest, you approach the final, most majestic ascent. This is not a simple ramp, but a grand staircase made of polished lapis lazuli and white alabaster. Each step is an intentional movement away from the earth and closer to the heavens. As you climb, the canopy of the forest of clouds opens up, and suddenly the ceiling is no longer made of branches, but of the infinite, sparkling vault of the Babylonian night. You have reached the fourth terrace, the summit of the world, the Pavilion of the Seven Planets. Take a slow, expansive breath. Here, at the highest point of the gardens, the air is no longer humid or heavy. It is crisp, thin, and carries the dry, ancient scent of the desert wind, a wind that has traveled over 1,000 miles of sand and history to reach you. This level was built not for the queen's comfort, but for the king's spirit. It is an astronomical sanctuary, a place where the boundary between the mortal and the divine becomes thin. Breathe out and feel yourself becoming lighter, as if the gravity of the world below has lost its grip on you. The pavilion is an open-air structure, circular in design, supported by 7 massive pillars. According to Babylonian tradition, each pillar represents one of the wandering stars or planets known to the ancient world. One pillar is gold for the sun, one is silver for the moon, one is red for Mars, another is multicolored for Mercury, one is white for Venus, one is tin for Jupiter, and the last is black for Saturn. As you walk between these pillars, the ground is a mosaic of obsidian and mother-of-pearl, reflecting the constellations above like a dark, mirrored pool. Your footsteps are silent on the smooth stone. You are walking among the stars. Visualize the center of the pavilion. There is a massive circular table made of bronze, etched with the maps of the heavens, the very first zodiac. On this table sits a series of water clocks and golden astrolabes, their gears clicking softly in the night. This is the sound of time in Babylon. A slow, rhythmic, mechanical pulse that tells you the universe is in perfect order. Click, tick, pulse. It is a reminder that the stars move in their cycles, the seasons change, and the time for your rest has arrived. There is no chaos here, only the grand, predictable law of the cosmos. Looking out from the edge of this highest terrace, the view is breathtaking. Below you, the hanging gardens cascade down like a mountain of emerald shadows, disappearing into the dark. Beyond the gardens, the city of Babylon stretches out, an orange grid of torchlight and dark mud brick homes. The Euphrates River looks like a silver ribbon cutting through the black velvet of the desert. But even the great city looks small from here. From this height, the worries of the day, the politics of the empire, and the noise of the markets are nothing but a distant memory. You are in the realm of the eternal. Breathe in the vastness. Feel your mind expanding to fill the space between the pillars. In your life, you often feel cramped by schedules and walls, but tonight there are no walls. There is only the wind and the stars. Imagine your consciousness drifting away from the pavilion, floating over the city, and joining the silver river. You are becoming part of the landscape. You are becoming part of the night. The wind on this level is the most peaceful part of the experience. It is a dry wind, yet it has been cooled as it passed over the 3 terraces of water below. It carries a faint final hint of the jasmine and cedar, like a memory of a dream. This wind is known as the breath of Marduk. As it brushes against your skin, imagine it carrying away the very last traces of physical tension in your body. Let it smooth the lines on your forehead. Let it relax your jaw. Let it make your limbs feel as heavy and as permanent as the black pillar of Saturn. In the center of the pavilion, there is a low couch draped in lion skins and purple wool. This is the king's seat of contemplation. Imagine yourself reclining there. As you lie back, your eyes are perfectly aligned with the North Star, the fixed point around which the entire universe turns. Watch it in your mind. It is steady, it is unchanging, it is your anchor. No matter how much the world turns, no matter how much your life changes, that point of inner peace remains. You are focusing on that point now. You are becoming that point. The water clocks are dripping slowly. The bronze gears are whispering. The desert wind is singing between the 7 pillars. The stars are bright, but they are far away, leaving you in a soft, protective darkness. You have climbed the mountain. You have seen the stars. You have found the center of the universe. Sleep now, as the image of the 7 colored pillars and the silver river fades into the deep, unchanging dark of the Babylonian night. In the next part, we will begin our descent, but not the way we came. We will enter the subterranean vaults, the hidden world beneath the gardens where the great water engines live, and where the secrets of the foundation stones are kept in the cool, silent earth underground. But for now, there is only the quiet. There is only the dark. There is only sleep. The subterranean vaults. As the celestial winds of the top terrace begin to cool your spirit, you find a small, inconspicuous door made of heavy diorite stone, tucked behind the black pillar of Saturn. Opening it reveals a spiral staircase that leads not up, but deep into the belly of the structure. You are now leaving the realm of stars and air to enter the subterranean vaults. This is the hidden foundation, the roots of the Emerald Mountain. As you descend, the sound of the wind is replaced by a profound, heavy silence, and the air changes from the dry desert breeze to a cool, damp, and earthy embrace. Take a slow, grounding breath. Feel the temperature drop as the thick stone walls insulate you from the world outside. This is the temperature of the deep earth, constant, unchanging, and infinitely stable. As you breathe out, imagine your own body becoming as stable as these foundation stones. You are moving into the quiet zone of the gardens, the place where the secrets of the empire are buried in the cool dark. Stepping off the last stair, you find yourself in a vast labyrinth of vaulted corridors. The ceilings are high and arched, built with fired bricks and bitumen, the natural asphalt of Mesopotamia, to make them waterproof. This is the underworld of the paradise. While the king and queen enjoy the flowers above, the life of the garden is managed here. You see massive stone pillars, 10 feet thick, supporting the thousands of tons of soil and forest above your head. These pillars are the silent titans of Babylon. Feel their strength in your mind. Just as these pillars support the garden, your own inner strength supports your life. Tonight, you can let the pillars of your mind take over. You don't need to hold anything up anymore. Visualize the floor of the vault. It is made of smooth, dark clay, packed so hard it feels like stone. In the center of the main hall, you find the great well of the abyss. This is a deep shaft that goes down to the very water table of the Euphrates. Looking over the edge, you see nothing but a dark, mirror-like surface far below. This is the source of all the beauty above. In the silence of the vault, you can hear the deep, echoing drip, pause, drop of water falling back into the well. It is a slow, hypnotic sound. Drip, pause, drop. It echoes through the stone chambers like the ticking of a prehistoric clock. In these vaults, the air carries the scent of ancient earth and wet stone. It is a clean, mineral smell that feels incredibly grounding. This is the scent of the beginning of time. Along the walls, there are alcoves filled with precious oils and seeds, stored here in the cool dark to keep them fresh for future seasons. It is a place of conservation and preparation. As you relax in your bed, think of this sleep as your vault. You are storing your energy, preserving your spirit, and preparing for your next season. You are in a safe, hidden place where the noise of the world cannot find you. In a side chamber, you see the great water screws of Archimedes, or the Babylonian precursors to them. These are massive wooden cylinders with internal spirals, tilted at an angle. During the day, they groan and creak as they lift the river to the sky. But now, at midnight, they are still. They are like sleeping giants. Their wooden surfaces are dark and wet, smelling of old cedar and river silt. The silence of the machinery is even more peaceful than its motion. It is a reminder that even the most hard-working parts of our lives deserve a period of absolute stillness. Your machinery, your brain, your muscles, your eyes, is now standing still in the dark. As you walk further into the labyrinth, the light from your flickering torch reveals carvings on the walls. These are not for the public to see. They are prayers to Enki, the god of water and wisdom, etched into the brick. The symbols are sharp and rhythmic, a silent language of protection. You feel a sense of ancient security here. You are 30 feet underground, protected by layers of stone, lead, and earth. Nothing can disturb you. No storm, no war, no worry can penetrate these vaults. You are in the most secure room in the world. Find a soft patch of dry sand in a corner of the vault, near one of the great pillars. In your imagination, sit down and lean your back against the cool, damp brick. Feel the vibration of the earth. The earth has a hum, a low, nearly inaudible frequency that calms the nervous system of every living thing. Tune in to that hum. It is the sound of the planet turning. It is the sound of deep time. You are part of that hum. You are sinking into the clay. You are becoming one with the foundation. The well is echoing. The water screws are sleeping. The diorite door is closed. The earth is holding you in its cool, dark palms. You have left the stars and the flowers, and you have found the peace of the deep ground. Sleep now, as the image of the high arches and the dark water well fades into the deep, unchanging dark of the Babylonian night. We will leave the vaults and enter the Queen's Mirror, a hidden marble grotto on the first level where the water forms a perfect still lake and where the moonlight creates a world of silver reflections. But for now, there is only the quiet. There is only the dark. There is only sleep. The Queen's Mirror. Emerging from the heavy, echoing silence of the subterranean vaults, you climb a short, hidden stair that brings you back to the garden's first level. But you are not in the open terraces anymore. You have entered a secluded sanctuary tucked behind a screen of weeping willows and flowering vines. This is the Queen's Mirror. It is a grand semicircular grotto carved entirely from white Parian marble, polished until it glows like moonlight. At its center lies a vast, shallow pool of water, so still and so clear that it doesn't look like water at all. It looks like a sheet of black glass. Take a slow, rhythmic breath. As you inhale, imagine the coolness of the marble entering your body. As you exhale, imagine your mind becoming as flat and as still as the pool before you. In the world above, there is wind and movement. In the world below, there is heavy stone. But here, in the Queen's Mirror, there is only reflection. This is where the Queen of Babylon came to find herself when the weight of the crown became too heavy. Breathe out and let your own crown, your responsibilities and tiles slide off your head and rest on the marble floor. As you walk toward the edge of the water, the only sound is the soft brush of your silk robes against your legs. The pool is fed by a silent underwater spring, so there are no ripples, no bubbles, and no splashing. The moonlight pours in through a circular opening in the ceiling, striking the water at a perfect angle. This creates a mirror of the heavens. When you look down into the pool, you don't just see the water, you see the entire galaxy reflected with startling clarity. It is as if you are standing on the edge of a hole in the earth that leads straight into the stars. Visualize the reflection of the Milky Way in the water. The stars look like glowing dust scattered on a black mirror. In your mind, look at this reflection and realize that your thoughts are exactly like these stars. They are bright, they are beautiful, but they are far away. They don't need to be handled or solved. They just exist in the pool of your consciousness. As you watch the stars in the water, feel your heart rate settle into a slow, calm rhythm. Your breathing becomes a mirror to the pool, quiet, shallow, and effortless. Surrounding the pool are low benches carved with the forms of sleeping swans. The air here is the most humid in the entire garden, but it is a sweet humidity. The queen's servants have floated thousands of blue lotus petals on the water. These flowers, which close at night, release a faint sedative aroma that is known to induce deep, vivid dreams. The scent is floral, but with a hint of musk and rain. Breathe in that rain of Babylon. It feels like a cool cloth being wiped across your tired brow. It is the scent of total surrender. In the corner of the grotto, a single lamp made of translucent alabaster burns with a tiny flickering flame fed by sweet almond oil. The light it casts is golden and soft, dancing on the white marble walls. Watch that flame in your mind. It is the only movement in the room. Just as that flame is contained within its lamp, your life force is contained within your body, warm, steady, and safe. You are a sanctuary. You are a temple of peace. The world outside the willows can wait. The sun can wait. Time itself has paused at the edge of this pool. Now, imagine sitting at the very edge of the pool. In your vision, reach out and touch the surface with one finger. A single, tiny ripple begins to travel outward. It moves slowly, gracefully across the reflection of the stars. This is the only task you have tonight, to watch that ripple fade. As the ripple reaches the edge and the water becomes perfectly still once again, feel your last lingering worry fade with it. The mirror is restored. Your mind is restored. There is a special quality to the silence here. It is not empty, it is a full silence. It is filled with the presence of the water and the protection of the marble. Underneath the gardens, the water screws are silent. Above the gardens, the cedars are still. Here in the center, you are in the heart of the piece. You are the queen's mirror. You are the reflection of the infinite. The lotuses are closed. The alabaster lamp is dimming. The willows are unmoving. The water is a perfect black glass. Sleep now As the image of the silver reflections and the white marble grotto fades into the deep, unchanging dark of the Babylonian night, we will move to the gate of the rising sun, where we explore the eastern ramparts and the transition from the deep night to the first faint whispers of the cosmic dawn. But for now, there is only the quiet. There is only the dark. There is only sleep. The Gate of the Rising Sun. Leaving the hypnotic stillness of the Queen's Mirror, you follow a long, arched corridor that leads towards the eastern edge of the gardens. This is the transition point, the place where the greenery of the mountain meets the vast, open horizon of the Mesopotamian plains. You have arrived at the Gate of the Rising Sun. Despite its name, it is still the deep middle of the night. But this gate is built to capture the very first breath of the world. It is a massive portal of white limestone, inlaid with gold leaf that catches even the faintest glimmer of the stars. Take a slow, deep breath of the air here. It feels different. It is moving. While the center of the garden was humid and still, the eastern gate is a funnel for the cosmic breath. This is a dry, cool wind that blows across the Tigris and the Euphrates, bringing with it the scent of wild grasses and sun-baked earth that has finally cooled. As you breathe out, imagine this wind passing through you, carrying away any remaining fragments of your day. You are standing at the edge of the world, where the night is at its most profound. The gate is flanked by two towering pillars of red granite, representing the strength of the dawn. As you walk out onto the wide stone balcony, you're hundreds of feet above the ground. Below you, the great city walls of Babylon stretch out like sleeping giants. But your eyes are drawn to the east. The horizon is a razor-sharp line of black against a slightly lighter charcoal sky. There is no sun yet, not for hours, but there is a sense of preparation. The universe is holding its breath. In your bed, allow yourself to feel that same quiet anticipation, not for work or for worry, but for the beautiful, empty canvas of the dreams to come. Visualize the stone beneath your feet. It is cold, but it has a smooth, grounded energy. Along the balustrade of the balcony, there are carvings of the sun god Shamash, depicted as a wheel of fire. In the dark, these carvings feel like silent companions. They remind you that the light always returns. But for now, the darkness is your sanctuary. The darkness is a gift. It is the soil in which your soul rests and regrows. On this eastern rampart, the gardens take on a more rugged beauty. Here grow the tamarisks and the acacia trees, hardy, resilient plants that can survive the desert heat. In the moonlight, their thin, feathery leaves look like silver lace. The wind moves through them with a high-pitched musical whistle that sounds like distant flutes. This is the music of the horizon. Let that whistle be a lullaby for your mind. It is a thin, clear sound that cuts through the mental fog. It is the sound of clarity. It is the sound of being exactly where you are supposed to be. Near the gate, there is a series of bronze chimes hanging from a sandalwood frame. They are shaped like crescent moons and stars. As the eastern breeze catches them, they collide with a soft melodic clink. Chim. Ting. The sound is irregular, like the falling of raindrops on a metal roof. It is a sound that demands nothing from you. You don't need to follow the rhythm. You only need to hear it. Each chime is a reminder to let go of the past hour and enter the next. You are drifting further and further from the shore of wakefulness. In the center of the balcony, there is a sundial made of black basalt. In the moonlight, it casts a faint, ghostly shadow, a moon dial. This shadow moves so slowly that it seems motionless. This is the pace of your journey tonight. You are not rushing towards the morning. You are savoring the deep, slow hours of the night. Think of your body as that black basalt, heavy, unmoving, and perfectly at peace with the passage of time. You aren't losing time as you sleep. You are gaining depth. As you look out into the blackness of the east, imagine the tiny flickers of fires from distant nomad camps on the horizon. They look like fallen stars. They are a reminder that even in the vast desert, there is warmth and life. You are tucked away in your own camp, safe within the high walls of the hanging gardens. The lions on the Ishtar gate are far below. The queen is dreaming in her grotto. The king is watching the planets. And you are here at the gate of the rising sun, watching the stars turn. The gold on the gate is dim. The bronze chimes are whispering. The tamarisks are swaying. The horizon is silent and vast. Sleep now, as the image of the limestone arch and the black desert horizon fades into the deep, unchanging dark of the Babylonian night. We will turn back towards the heart of the greenery and enter the hall of the sleeping lions, where the royal protectors are carved in stone, and where the air is thick with the scent of sacred incense. But for now, there is only the quiet. There is only the dark. There is only sleep. The Hall of the Sleeping Lions. Turning away from the vast open horizon of the gate of the rising sun, you step back into the embrace of the garden's interior. You enter a grand, elongated gallery that serves as the transition between the outer ramparts and the royal living quarters. This is the Hall of the Sleeping Lions. It is a space of immense power, yet it is blanketed in a heavy, protective stillness. The walls are lined with dozens of life-sized lions carved from honey-colored glazed bricks, their eyes made of polished onyx that gleams softly in the dim light. Take a slow, deep breath. The air here is no longer moving with the desert wind. It is still and heavy with the scent of kifi incense, a sacred blend of honey, wine, raisins, and myrrh. This scent was burned by the priests every evening to purify the air for the king's sleep. As you inhale, imagine this sweet, resinous aroma coating your throat and lungs, acting as a balm for your spirit. As you exhale, let your body become as still as the brick lions. You are entering a zone of absolute protection. The lions in this hall are not depicted in mid-roar or in battle. They are shown lying down, their massive paws tucked under their chins, their tails curled peacefully around their haunches. They are sleeping lions. In Babylonian culture, the lion was the symbol of Ishtar, the goddess of both war and love. Here, the war has ended and only the love remains. Visualize these golden guardians. They are your personal protectors tonight. Nothing can pass through this hall to disturb your peace. You are guarded by the strength of an empire. As you walk down the center of the hall, the floor is covered in a thick, hand-woven carpet from the mountains of the east. It is dyed in deep crimsons and ochres, and it is so soft that it swallows the sound of your movement. Your walk becomes a silent glide. Feel that same softness in your own bed. Your blankets are your royal carpet. They are heavy, warm, and they isolate you from the world. Every muscle in your legs and feet is now releasing its tension into that softness. You are no longer walking, you are drifting. At intervals along the hall, there are copper braziers filled with glowing embers of cedar wood. They are not burning with bright flames, but with a low, pulsing orange light. The heat they give off is subtle, just enough to take the chill out of the midnight air. Watch the embers in your mind. They pulse slowly, like the breath of a sleeping giant. Glow, fade. Glow, fade. Match your breathing to the pulse of the embers. You are winding down. The fire of your day has turned into the embers of your night. There is no more work to be done. Beside one of the sleeping lions, you see a small altar dedicated to Nabu, the god of wisdom and writing. On it lies a clay tablet and a reed stylus left there by a royal scribe. The tablet is blank, waiting for the thoughts of tomorrow. This is a powerful symbol for your sleep. Your mind today was full of writing, tasks, conversations, worries. But now that tablet is being wiped clean. Imagine a soft, wet cloth moving across the surface of your mind, smoothing out every mark and every word until it is a perfect blank slate of cool gray clay. You are starting fresh. The silence in the Hall of the Sleeping Lions is golden. It feels expensive and rare. It is the silence of a kingdom at peace. Outside the city walls, the world continues its chaos. But inside this hall, time is measured only by the slow cooling of the braziers and the steady onyx gaze of the guardians. You are leaning into that golden silence. You are trusting the lions to keep watch. Your eyes are becoming as heavy as the honey-colored bricks. Think of the strength of the lion. It doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. In the same way, your rest doesn't need to be earned. It is your natural right. You are resting with the power of a king, with the grace of a goddess, and with the stillness of the earth itself. The hall is long, and the shadows at the far end are deep and inviting. You are walking toward those shadows now, knowing that they lead to the even deeper mysteries of the garden. The incense is sweet, the embers are dimming, the lions are resting, the golden walls are holding the quiet. Sleep now, as the image of the honey-colored lions and the red carpet fades into the deep, unchanging dark of the Babylonian night. We will pass through the end of the hall and enter the garden of the moon god, a silver-hued grove where every plant is white or silver and where the light of the moon is the only law. But for now, there is only the quiet. There is only the dark. There is only sleep. The Garden of the Moon God. At the far end of the Hall of the Sleeping Lions, you push aside a heavy curtain of silver-threaded linen and step into a place that feels as if it were plucked directly from a dream. You have entered the Garden of the Moon God, an area dedicated to Sin, the Babylonian deity of the moon and the measurer of time. In this specific grove, King Nebuchadnezzar ordered that no plant with color be grown. Every leaf, every petal, and every stone is either white, silver, or a pale, ghostly gray. Take a deep, cooling breath. The air here is noticeably different. It feels thin and ethereal, as if it is made of moonlight itself. There is no scent of heavy jasmine or spicy incense here. Instead, there is the faint, clean smell of white lilies and night-blooming cereus. These flowers only open when the sun is gone, their petals like pale stars in the dark. As you breathe out, imagine the silver light of the moon washing over your body, turning your skin to cool marble. You are no longer a creature of the sun and the day. You have become a citizen of the night. The ground beneath your feet is no longer stone or carpet, but a fine, powdery silver sand brought from the distant shores of the Persian Gulf. It is soft and cool, and it reflects the moonlight so intensely that the path seems to glow from beneath. As you walk, the sand shifts silently under your weight. It is a slow, rhythmic movement. Imagine your body sinking into this silver sand in your bed. It conforms to your shape, supporting every curve of your back and every muscle in your legs. You are being cradled by the moon glow. Visualize the trees that surround you. They are silver poplars and white olives. Their bark is smooth and pale, and their leaves have a shimmering metallic underside. When the midnight breeze moves through the grove, the leaves flip and turn, creating a flickering effect, like 1,000 tiny mirrors catching the light. This is the visual silence of the garden. There are no bright reds or yellows to demand your attention. Your eyes can finally rest. Everything is a variation of silver and shadow. In your mind, let your thoughts take on this silver hue. They are becoming soft, reflective, and quiet. In the center of this silver grove stands a tall, slender obelisk of white alabaster. It is polished to a mirror finish. At its base, a small stream of milk-white water flows into a circular basin. The water has been mixed with a touch of crushed limestone to give it a ghostly, opaque appearance. This is the River of Dreams. The sound it makes is a soft, continuous shh, shh, shh. The sound of a mother shushing a child. Let that sound wrap around your ears like a silken veil. It is the sound of the moon telling the world to be still. On the branches of the white trees hang hundreds of small silver discs. They are thin and light. As the wind passes, they don't chime like bronze, they whisper. It is a metallic rustling sound, like the scales of a celestial fish. This sound is used by the priests to track the movement of the invisible spirits of the night. But for you, it is simply a signal that the world is in motion even when you are still. You don't need to move to be part of the universe. You can lie perfectly still, and the silver of the world will still dance for you. Find a small clearing in the silver sand near the white alabaster obelisk. In your vision, lie down on the cool, glowing earth. Look up through the silver leaves at the moon itself. In Babylon, the moon was seen as a boat sailing across the dark ocean of the sky. Imagine yourself stepping onto that boat. It is a slow, steady vessel. It doesn't rock, it just glides. You are leaving the gardens behind. You are leaving the city behind. You are sailing into the deepest part of the night. The silver sand is holding you. The white lilies are breathing for you. The alabaster water is whispering. The moonboat is ready. Your journey through the greenery is almost over, and the journey through the stars is beginning. You are becoming as light as a silver leaf. You are becoming as quiet as a white stone. The silver discs are rustling. The lilies are open. The moon is high. The world is a pale, beautiful shadow. The Terrace of the Midnight Jasmine. Stepping out from the silver, silent world of the moon god, you ascend a short, winding staircase carved from dark green serpentine stone. Each step feels cool and solid, leading you toward a level that is almost entirely hidden by a dense, cascading curtain of vines. You have arrived at the Terrace of the Midnight Jasmine. If the previous levels were about sight and sound, this level is a total surrender to the sense of smell. It is the most private and fragrant corner of the Hanging Gardens, a place where the air itself feels like a heavy velvet blanket of perfume. Take a slow, deep breath through your nose. Do not rush it. Feel the air enter your lungs. It is thick, sweet, and incredibly intoxicating. This is the night-blooming jasmine, known to the Babylonians as the flower of the night stars. Unlike other flowers that bask in the sun, this jasmine waits for the absolute darkness of midnight to release its soul. The scent is creamy, floral, and deep, with an almost honey-like weight. As you inhale, imagine this fragrance acting as a gentle sedative, numbing your worries and softening the edges of your thoughts. Visualize the terrace. It is a long, narrow balcony that runs along the southern face of the gardens, catching the warm, lingering heat that the stones absorbed during the day. This warmth, combined with the midnight cool, creates a unique microclimate. The white, star-shaped blossoms are so numerous they look like a fallen galaxy draped over the railings. There is no wind here. The air is perfectly still, trapped by the thick foliage. In this stillness, the fragrance doesn't drift away. It pools. It settles over you. Feel that pooling in your bed. Your blankets are the jasmine vines, heavy and fragrant, pressing down with just enough weight to make you feel safe and anchored. Your feet move across a floor made of dark emerald tiles. They are cool to the touch and slightly damp from the midnight mist. As you walk, you notice that the jasmine isn't just growing on the walls, it is hanging from the ceiling in long floral ropes. You have to gently part the vines with your hands as you move. Feel the waxy texture of the leaves and the delicate paper-thin petals against your skin. This is a physical embrace from the garden itself. It is telling you that you are welcome here. You are a guest of the Queen, and in this terrace there is no such thing as time or tomorrow. In the center of the terrace, there is a small circular pool filled with rose water. It doesn't splash, it simmers with a low heat provided by hidden charcoal pipes beneath the stone. A thin, fragrant steam rises from the surface, mingling with the jasmine scent. This steam carries the essence of 1,000 crushed damask roses. Watch the steam rise in your mind's eye. It curls and twists into the dark air, disappearing into the shadows of the ceiling. Imagine your last remaining stresses are like that steam, rising off your body, curling away, and vanishing into the infinite Babylonian night. You are becoming lighter with every breath. Near the pool, there is a low table made of polished ebony, and on it sits a single ceramic cup of warm chamomile and date palm honey. The steam from the cup smells of earth and sweetness. In your vision, take a sip. Feel the warmth travel down your throat, spreading through your chest and into your limbs. This warmth is the final unlocking of your muscles. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw relaxes. Your fingers curl naturally into the softness of your sheets. You are now fully enveloped in the verdant shadow. The soundscape of this terrace is the most muffled of all. Because the vines are so thick, they act as a natural sound absorber. The distant city noises, the creak of the water wheels, and even the wind are silenced. The only thing you can hear is your own heartbeat and the very faint rhythmic drip, drip of condensation falling from a jasmine leaf into the rose water. It is a slow, steady pulse. Drip, pulse, drip, pulse. It is the rhythm of deep, restorative sleep. It is the rhythm of the earth's own rest. Find a wide stone ledge covered in deep green moss at the edge of the terrace. In your mind, Lie down on this natural bed. It is surprisingly soft and smells of fresh rain. Look out through a small gap in the jasmine vines. You can see a single bright planet, Venus, the star of Ishtar, hanging low in the sky. It is a steady white light. It is your guiding star. As long as that light is there, you are safe. As long as the jasmine is blooming, you are protected. The fragrance is a heavy blanket. The rosewater is steaming. The ebony table is dark and still. The star of Ishtar is watching over you. You are sinking deep into the emerald tiles. You are becoming part of the scent. The Observatory of the Golden Dragon. Leaving behind the intoxicating, heavy perfume of the Jasmine Terrace, you find a narrow, high-arched bridge made of burnt sienna bricks. This bridge spans a deep chasm between two sections of the gardens, and as you cross it, you feel the air grow crisp and sharp once more. You are approaching the penultimate height of the Observatory of the Golden Dragon. This is a place of mathematics, mystery, and silence. It is where the Babylonian priests, the greatest astronomers of the ancient world, calculate the movements of the gods across the celestial ocean. Take a slow, deep breath of this high-altitude air. It smells of old parchment, cold bronze, and the faint, dry ozone of the upper atmosphere. As you breathe out, feel your mind sharpening, becoming as clear and as focused as a lens. In the terraces below, you are a creature of sense and feeling. Here, you are a creature of pure awareness. You are rising above the weather of your emotions and entering the steady, unchanging realm of logic and starlight. The observatory is a circular tower that juts out from the main body of the gardens like the prow of a ship. Its exterior is decorated with a massive frieze of the Mushk-Hushu, the golden dragon of Marduk. This mythical beast has the scales of a serpent, the talons of an eagle, and the mane of a lion. In the moonlight, the gold leaf scales of the dragon seem to ripple as you walk past, as if the tower itself is breathing. These dragons are the guardians of knowledge. They represent the untamed power of the universe, now brought into harmony by human wisdom. Imagine these dragons encircling your bed tonight, their golden scales forming a protective, impenetrable barrier around your sleep. Step inside the tower. The floor is a giant polished disk of black basalt, etched with a massive map of the constellations. In the center of the room stands a monumental bronze instrument, an early armillary sphere. It consists of interlocking rings representing the celestial equator, the ecliptic, and the paths of the 5 known planets. As the midnight wind enters through the open slits in the walls, the rings of the sphere vibrate ever so slightly, producing a low, metallic hum. It is the sound like a distant bell that never stops ringing. It is the music of the spheres. Visualize the priests who work here. They are not here tonight. They have left their tools behind. You see a long table of polished cedar covered in cuneiform tablets, thick slabs of clay filled with thousands of tiny wedge-shaped marks. These are the records of eclipses, the births of stars, and the cycles of the moon going back 1,000 years. Everything is recorded. Everything is accounted for. There is a profound sense of order in this room. Let that sense of order settle into your own mind. Your life, too, has a rhythm. Your past, your present, and your future are part of a grand celestial design. You don't need to figure it all out tonight. The stars are already on their paths. You can afford to let go. Along the curved walls there are deep niches containing star glasses, primitive but effective tubes of polished crystal and bronze used to focus the light of distant suns. In your mind, look through one of these tubes. You see Jupiter, the star of Marduk, glowing like a steady golden lantern. It doesn't flicker, it simply beams. This is the quality of your inner peace tonight, steady, golden, and high above the clouds. As you watch the planet, feel your eyelids becoming as heavy as the bronze rings of the observatory. You are being pulled down by the gentle, inevitable gravity of rest. The silence here is intellectual and deep. It is the silence of a library that spans the universe. There is no water dripping here, no leaves rustling. There is only the hum of the bronze and the vast cold space outside the windows. This space is not empty. It is full of potential. Think of your sleep as this dark, open space. It is a place where new stars, new ideas, new energy are born. You are stepping into the laboratory of dreams. Find a high cushioned stool draped in dark blue wool. In your vision, sit here and lean your head against the cool stone of the window frame. Look out at the horizon. From this height, you can see the curve of the earth. You can see the shadow of the world moving across the desert. You are a witness to the grand mechanics of the night. You are small, yet you are the one perceiving the infinite. This realization brings a final total relaxation to your nervous system. You are part of the great calculation, and the calculation says, it is time to sleep. The golden dragons are shimmering, the bronze rings are humming, the tablets are silent. The star of Marduk is steady and bright. You are leaving the realm of thought and entering the realm of the void. The secret of the copper spout. Descending from the lofty, silent heights of the observatory, you follow a hidden, narrow passage built into the very thickness of the garden's outer walls. This path is cool, lit only by the faint, greenish glow of phosphorescent moss that clings to the damp bricks. You are moving toward the technical and spiritual heart of the Emerald Mountain, the secret of the copper spout. This is the place where engineering meets the divine, the hidden chamber where the waters of the Euphrates are finally released from their long climb to begin their cascading journey back down to the earth. Take a slow, deep breath. The air here is heavy and thick with the scent of wet metal and cold, fresh water. It feels incredibly refreshing, like the air near a mountain waterfall just before a storm. As you breathe out, imagine the plumbing of your own body, your veins, your breath, your thoughts becoming clear and unobstructed. Just as the water flows freely through this chamber, let your energy flow into a state of total fluid relaxation. You are no longer resisting. You are becoming the stream. Step into the central chamber. It is a cathedral of stone and metal. Dominating the room is a massive, ornate copper spout shaped like the head of a great river dragon. This spout is the mouth of the garden. Here, the water that has been lifted by the subterranean screws and the chains of buckets finally reaches its destination. The water doesn't gush out in a chaotic spray. It emerges in a thick, silent, and perfectly smooth column as clear as liquid crystal. It flows into a series of shallow basins, each one higher than the last, creating a stairway of water. Visualize the surface of the copper. It is polished to a high shine and covered in fine rhythmic engravings of waves and fish. In the moonlight that filters down from a high, narrow slit in the ceiling, the copper glows with a warm orange light that contrasts beautifully with the cool blue-gray stone of the walls. Reach out in your mind and touch the copper. It is cold and vibrating with the force of the water flowing through it. That vibration is a low-frequency hum that resonates in your fingertips and travels up your arms, settling in your chest. It is a grounding, steady pulse. Hum, flow, hum, flow. In this chamber, the water is more than just a resource, it is a sacred element. On the walls, you see small niches containing silver bowls of sacred salts and bundles of dried sage. Every hour, a silent priest enters this room to cast a pinch of salt into the water, blessing it so that the plants of the garden may thrive and the queen may find peace. You can see the faint white trails of the salt dissolving in the clear stream. Think of your sleep tonight as this living water. It is being blessed. It is being purified. It is carrying away any salt of bitterness or dust of stress from your spirit, leaving you clean and renewed. The sound in this chamber is the most rhythmic of all the levels. Because of the way the basins are tiered, the water makes a series of different notes as it falls from one level to the next. The highest basin makes a sharp, clear tink. The middle basin makes a hollow glug. The lowest basin makes a deep, resonant splash. Together, they create a liquid harp. Listen to this harp in your mind. It is a song without words, a melody that has been playing since the day the gardens were completed. It is a song of constant return. The water comes from the river, climbs the mountain, and returns to the river. You too are returning to your source, the deep, silent river of sleep. Beside the great spout, there is a small stone-carved bed meant for the guardian of the water, the man who stays awake to ensure the flow never stops. But tonight, even the guardian is resting, leaning against a pillar, his eyes closed in a peaceful vigil. He knows the system is perfect. He knows the water will not fail. You can take on this same confidence. Your body knows how to sleep. Your heart knows how to beat. Your mind knows how to dream. You don't need to supervise your rest. You can trust the secret of your own inner engineering. Find a spot on the cool, damp floor where the mist from the spout reaches you. In your vision, Lie down and let the tiny microscopic droplets of water settle on your skin. It is like being kissed by the breath of the Euphrates. Each droplet carries the chill of the deep earth and the purity of the high stars. You are being washed. You are being cooled. You are being prepared for the final transition. The copper dragon is silent. The liquid harp is playing. The salt is dissolving. The guardian is dreaming. You are at the source of the emerald life. You are the flow. The Terrace of the Weeping Willows. Leaving the metallic resonance of the copper spout behind, you follow the water as it spills from the final basin into a narrow, open-air canal. This canal leads you back toward the outer perimeter to a level that feels as though the garden itself is trying to return to the river. You have reached the Terrace of the Weeping Willows. This is a long, curving promenade where the massive stone walls of Babylon are hidden behind a living curtain of soft, trailing green. Take a slow, deep breath. The air here is the softest you have encountered yet. It is laden with the scent of wet bark, river reeds, and the cool, clean smell of running water. As you breathe out, imagine your own body becoming as flexible and as relaxed as a willow branch. You are no longer rigid. You are no longer holding yourself upright against the world. You are swaying gently in the midnight breeze, moving with the rhythm of the night rather than resisting it. The weeping willows here are ancient. Their trunks are gnarled and thick, covered in a soft silver-gray lichen that feels like velvet under your hand. Their branches do not reach for the sky. They cascade downward, heavy with long, slender leaves that brush against the surface of the canal. As you walk down the promenade, you must pass through these waterfalls of leaves. Feel the cool, light touch of the willow fronds as they graze your forehead and shoulders. It is a sensation of being gently swept clean, as if the leaves are brushing away the last persistent thoughts of your day. Visualize the canal at your feet. The water is moving faster here, hurrying back toward the Euphrates. Because the canal is shallow and lined with smooth river pebbles, the water makes a continuous bubbling sound, a babbling that fills the air with a soft white noise. This is the ultimate sound for sleep. It is a constant, unchanging frequency that masks all other sounds. In your mind, let that bubbling water wash through your consciousness. It is carrying away the grit of your worries, leaving only smooth, polished stones behind. Under the canopy of the willows, the moonlight is filtered into 1,000 tiny, moving coins of silver. These moon coins dance on the water and on the stone path, shifting as the breeze moves the branches. It is a hypnotic sight. Watch the patterns of light and shadow in your mind's eye. They are never the same twice, yet they are always peaceful. There is no destination here, only the flow. You are walking toward the end of the terrace, where a small wooden bridge arches over the canal. In the shadows of the willow roots, you see the blue kingfishers and the gray herons of the Euphrates. They have come up from the river to find shelter in the garden's peace. They stand on one leg, their heads tucked deep into their feathers, perfectly still. They look like statues made of smoke. This is the quality of total stillness that you are entering now. Like the heron, you are anchored in one place, yet your spirit is as light as a feather. You are part of the riverbank. You are part of the reeds. On the bridge, there is a small bench made of woven reeds, topped with cushions of unbleached linen. Sit here for a moment. Look down into the water and see your own reflection, broken and scattered by the ripples. You don't need to see yourself clearly tonight. You don't need to be someone with a name and a story. You are just a passenger on the bridge. Below you, the water is returning to the great river. Above you, the stars are returning to the dawn. Everything is in a state of beautiful, natural return. Breathe in the moisture. Breathe out the last of your weight. The willows are protecting you. The water is singing for you. The herons are showing you how to be still. You are almost at the end of your walk. The great Emerald Mountain has shared its secrets, and now it is preparing to let you go into the deepest part of the night. The branches are swaying. The pebbles are clicking softly. The herons are dreaming. The water is a silver ribbon. You are drifting with the current of the willow wind. The Garden of the Sleeping Sun. Descending from the cool, watery hum of the weeping willows, you enter a section of the garden that feels like a warm embrace in the heart of the cold night. You have arrived at the Garden of the Sleeping Sun. This is a terrace specifically designed by the royal gardeners to be a heat sink, a sanctuary that captures the fierce Babylonian sun during the day and breathes it back out as a gentle, radiant warmth during the midnight hours. Take a slow, deep breath. The air here is noticeably warmer than the misty riverbank you just left. It carries a dry, comforting scent, the smell of amber resin, dried marigolds, and sun-baked saffron. It is a golden scent, reminiscent of a late summer afternoon. As you breathe out, imagine this warmth entering your joints. Feel it softening the muscles in your lower back, your hips, and your knees. In your bed, imagine your blankets are infused with this stored solar energy, warming you from the outside in until you feel perfectly cozy and heavy. The architecture of this level is unique. The walls are not made of the usual blue brick or white marble, but of a porous yellow sandstone that acts like a thermal battery. Even now, hours after sunset, if you were to press your palm against the stone, it would feel like the skin of a living creature, warm, solid, and soothing. The plants grown here are all of the sunkin. There are golden poppies that have folded their petals for the night, and sunflowers that have bowed their heavy heads toward the earth as if in prayer. In the moonlight, their yellow and orange colors are muted into a rich burnt bronze. Visualize the floor beneath you. It is paved with terracotta tiles that have been polished with beeswax. They reflect the moonlight with a warm, dim glow, like a flickering candle in a dark room. As you walk, The warmth from the tiles rises up through the soles of your feet, traveling through your entire body. This is the sleeping sun, the energy of the day resting peacefully within the night. It is a reminder that even when you are at your most quiet, you still carry the strength and the light of your life within you. You don't need to do anything with that light tonight. You only need to let it keep you warm. In the center of this terrace stands a magnificent statue of Utu Shamash, the sun god, but he is depicted in his night aspect. He is shown seated on a throne of lapis lazuli, with his eyes closed and his flaming crown resting in his lap. He is at rest, and because the sun is at rest, the world is allowed to be dark. This image is incredibly powerful for your subconscious. If the sun god himself can put down his crown and sleep, so can you. The responsibility of lighting the world is not yours tonight. You are free to disappear into the shadows. Along the edges of the garden are small, low-burning oil lamps made of golden bronze. They are filled with thick, sweet sesame oil that burns with a steady, smokeless flame. The light they cast is not white like the moon, but a deep sunset orange. Watch the way this light dances on the bronze petals of the poppies. The shadows it creates are soft and blurry. There are no sharp edges in the garden of the sleeping sun. Everything is rounded, warm, and inviting. As you move toward the end of the terrace, you find a small alcove lined with lion skins and thick yellow wool. In your mind, sit here and let yourself sink into the textures. The wool is scratchy in a way that makes you feel the softness of your own skin. The warmth of the sandstone wall is at your back. You are looking out over the garden, and for the first time you see the stars beginning to shift their positions. The night is deep, but it is a warm deep. You are not alone in the cold void. You are tucked into the golden heart of an empire. Breathe in the scent of the saffron. Feel the heat of the tiles. Watch the closed petals of the poppies. You are the sleeping sun. You are the warmth in the dark. You are the golden ember waiting for tomorrow, but perfectly content to be an ember for now. The stones are radiating peace. The lamps are flickering low. The sun god is dreaming. The terracotta is smooth and warm. You are drifting into a golden slumber. Sleep now, as the image of the burnt bronze flowers and the warm sandstone walls fades into the deep, unchanging dark of the Babylonian night. In the next part, we will move to the Hall of the Thousand Veils, where the air is filtered through layers of silk and where the physical world begins to dissolve into pure spirit. But for now, there is only the quiet. There is only the dark. There is only sleep. The Hall of the Thousand Veils. Leaving the solid, radiant warmth of the Garden of the Sleeping Sun, you enter a space where the world of stone and soil begins to dissolve into something fluid and ethereal. You have arrived at the Hall of the Thousand Veils. This is a long, high-ceilinged gallery that connects the final gardens to the royal bedchambers. It is not a room with solid walls, but an architectural skeleton of slender marble pillars, between which hang endless layers of the finest Babylonian silk and linen. Take a slow, effortless breath. The air here is no longer heavy or warm. It is light, filtered, and moves with a ghostly grace. As you breathe out, imagine your own physical presence becoming less solid. You are shedding the weight of your bones and the tension of your skin. In this hall, everything is softened. Every sound is muffled, and every light is diffused. You are moving through a world of shadows and whispers. The 1,000 veils are dyed in the colors of the deepest twilight, transparent whites, misty grays, and pale oceanic blues. They hang from the ceiling in long, overlapping sheets that sway in the gentle draft of the night. As you walk through them, they brush against your face and hands like the touch of a cool mist. It is a sensory experience of unfocusing. You cannot see more than a few feet ahead. The world is a series of soft, moving curtains. This is exactly what your mind needs now. You are no longer looking at the big picture of your life. You are only aware of the soft, immediate now. Visualize the movement of the veils. They ripple like the surface of a slow-moving river. There is no beginning and no end to them. In your mind, let your thoughts become like these silks. They are not sharp or urgent. They're just layers of color drifting in the dark. If a thought enters your mind, imagine it is just another veil. You can simply walk through it and let it flutter behind you. You don't need to hold on to anything. You are in a state of beautiful obscurity. The scent in this hall is almost non-existent, which is a relief after the intense perfumes of the lower terraces. It smells only of fresh rain and clean linen. It is a blank scent that allows your nervous system to reach a state of zero stimulation. Along the floor, which is made of polished white quartz, small silver bowls of water are placed to catch the moonlight. The reflections don't stay still. They are broken by the moving shadows of the silks, creating a dancing liquid light on the pillars. At the center of the hall, there is a clearing where the veils form a circular tent. Inside, the floor is piled high with goose-down cushions and layers of cashmere throws. This is the quiet point. In your vision, lie down in the center of these veils. As you sink into the cushions, the world outside, the city of Babylon, the Euphrates, the king's empire, completely disappears. All that exists is the soft rustle of the silk and the rhythmic slow rise and fall of your chest. You are in a cocoon. You are safe. You are hidden from all eyes. Listen to the sound of the hall. It is the sound of hush.
The wind passing through 1,000 layers of fabric creates a low-frequency white noise that sounds like the ocean heard from a great distance. Shoo, shoo. It is the ultimate lullaby of the ancient world. It bypasses the analytical brain and speaks directly to the primitive heart. It says, "The day is over, the walls are gone, only the soft remains."
The heart of the Emerald Mountain. Passing through the final, thinnest veil of indigo silk, you step into the ultimate destination of your journey. You have reached the core, the sanctum, the very soul of the structure, the heart of the Emerald Mountain. This is the highest chamber of the gardens, a circular room built directly into the peak of the man-made mountain. It is where the king and queen come when the world is too loud, where the only sounds allowed are the heartbeat of the earth and the breathing of the stars. Take a final, deep, and total breath. The air here is perfect. It is neither warm nor cold. It is the exact temperature of your own skin, making the boundary between you and the room disappear. It smells of nothing but pure peace, a faint hint of ancient stone, and the clean, high atmosphere of the summit. As you breathe out, feel the very last atom of tension leave your body. You have climbed the terraces, you have seen the lions, the water screws, and the silver moon groves. You have arrived. There is nowhere left to go. The walls of this chamber are lined with polished malachite, a stone the color of a deep, dark forest. The natural swirls and patterns in the stone look like frozen waves of green smoke. In the center of the room, directly under a circular opening in the domed ceiling, lies the royal couch of Babylon. It is a wide, low platform made of dark cedar, piled so high with layers of silk, wool, and down that it looks like a soft, white cloud. In your mind, climb onto this cloud. Feel the incredible, deep support as you sink inches deep into the softness. Your spine aligns, your head finds a hollow in the pillow, and your limbs become as heavy as the foundation stones of the city. Visualize the view above you. Through the eye of the dome, you see the constellations of the Babylonian zodiac. They are moving so slowly they appear stationary. You see the Great Bear and the Dragon, their stars glowing with a steady, friendly light. This room was designed so that the starlight falls directly onto the bed, bathing you in a silent, celestial silver. You are not just under the stars, you are being embraced by them. You are a part of the cosmic geometry. Everything is in its right place. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The sound in the heart of the mountain is a living silence. It is not the absence of sound, but a harmonious vibration of all the levels below you. You can faintly sense, rather than hear, the rhythmic pulsing of the copper spouts, the rustle of the thousand veils, and the distant protective gaze of the sleeping lions. It is a symphony of safety. Like a child in a cradle, you are being rocked by the sheer stability of the empire. The walls around you are 20 feet thick. The mountain beneath you is unshakable. You are the most secure being in the ancient world. In the corner of the room, a small golden bowl contains a single piece of sandalwood smoldering on a coal. A thin, straight line of blue smoke rises toward the opening in the dome. Watch that smoke in your mind. It doesn't flicker, it doesn't struggle, it simply rises, becoming thinner and thinner until it merges with the night air. Imagine your consciousness is that smoke. You are thinning out. You are merging with the darkness. You are no longer you. You are the garden. You are the mountain. You are the Babylonian night. The journey is complete. The 16,000 steps of your walk have led to this moment of absolute surrender. The verdant shadows have finally caught up with you, wrapping you in a blanket of emerald and ink. The desert wind has died down. The water is a silent mirror. The gods are asleep in their temples. You have done everything you needed to do. You have thought everything you needed to think. The forgotten paradise is no longer a place you are visiting. It is the place where you live now, in the quiet chambers of your dreams. Close your eyes in your vision, just as you close them in your bed. Feel the heaviness of the malachite, the softness of the silk, and the eternity of the stars. The great King Nebuchadnezzar built this for love, and tonight that love is yours to rest in. You are drifting, drifting, past the gates, past the gardens, into the deep, sweet, and unchanging dark of Babylon. The stars are steady. The mountain is still. The heart is at peace. The dream has begun. Imagine the sound of the water beginning to play in the background, a slow, rhythmic melody that will guide you through the rest of the night. It is a sound that has no beginning and no end. The high note, a crystal clear tink as water touches the first marble basin. The middle note, a hollow, resonant glug as it fills the cedar wood channel. The deep note, a soft velvet splash as it returns to the cool earth. Tink, glug, splash. Tink, glug, splash. The malachite walls are holding the silence. The silk veils are perfectly still. The great dragon of the gate is watching the horizon, ensuring your safety until the sun returns. But the sun is hours away, and the night is deep and kind. Let the rhythm of the water be your heartbeat. Let the darkness of the mountain be your blanket. You are drifting now, past the reach of words, into the forgotten paradise of your own deepest rest. Good night. Sleep well in the heart of Babylon.